My mom's life was all about family. She would tell me stories about growing up. She told me that her brother Vincent called her Fessy, and that her sister Felicia called her brother Didn't. She told me how one day she came home from school crying, and her dad asked her what had happened. She told her dad that the teacher had slapped her. Immediately, my grandfather took her back to school, and he confronted the teacher. The teacher told him that she had misbehaved, and my mom told the teachers that she's not the one that did it. The teacher then apologized to my mom. My grandfather then told the teacher, "You'd never better hit my daughter again." My mom always liked that my grandfather stood up for her. My mom was very happy to see her daughter and son grow up, her grandchildren grow up, and to see her great-grandchildren. She was grateful for her son-in-law Jack for all that he did for the family. Growing up, I never lacked for love. My mom would always make me feel special. She would tell me that I was handsome. She did little things for me to let me know that she cared. Growing up, Saturdays were always special because of breakfast. Many Saturday mornings, she made me pancakes or French toast. It was 20-some years later, I saw her taking care of my nephew Mike. She did all the little things for him that she did for me. And it was amazing to see the look in his eyes and how I must have looked 20-some years earlier. My mom was married to my dad for 61 years. They liked to do little things for each other, but one of their favorite activities was arguing. But they did have their better moments.
I believe that.
2 years ago, we were having lunch at Chick-fil-A, and I asked my mom if she remembered Nanny throwing herself on Pup-Pup's coffin. I told her I was surprised because I didn't think Nanny loved him, because all she ever did was yell at him. She told me that though her mom and dad argued, that they loved each other greatly. The day before my dad's funeral, I asked my mom if she was going to throw herself on Dad's coffin. She replied, "I don't think so." Well, I told her, I said, "You know, if you're going to do that," I said, "you might want to do some deep knee bends this afternoon so you don't strain anything." And then she gave me one of those looks, "What am I going to do with you?" Over the years, she gave me a lot of those, "What am I going to do with you" looks. My mom took a liking to a member of the family I brought home, my dog Chipper. When I told my mom I wanted a dog, she asked me if I was sure. It wasn't long after I brought Chipper home that my mom and Chipper became pals. He would sit with her every night as she watched TV. When she would go to the bathroom, she would tell him, "I'm going to the bathroom," and he would stay on the couch until she came back. If by chance my mom wandered into the kitchen, Chipper was right behind her. Chipper just had to look at my mom, and she would give him whatever food that she had nearby. After about a year, my mom told me, "I never thought I'd love a dog." And I told her, "None of us thought you'd ever love a dog either." When I was little, if my mom wasn't sure if I was telling the truth, she would take me before a crucifix or a picture of Jesus, and she would say, "If you're telling the truth, kiss Jesus." Most of the time that wasn't a problem, but there were times upon reflection I had to admit that I might not have given the most accurate version of the story that I could have. My mom was a Christian and believed in Jesus. I remember as a boy occasionally getting up early, and I would find my mom saying a novena. My mom stressed faith and going to church. Whenever I lost something, my mom would be quick to say, "Pray to find it." My mom liked to multitask before there was a term multitask. The problem was she would usually do it while she was cooking. Then my mom burned pancakes and grilled cheese sandwiches quite frequently. Then she would serve them to me with the good side up. Then I would bite into my meal and I would have the wonderful taste of excessive carbon. I would then flip over the pancake or sandwich to see the black bottom. I would then inform my mom, I did notice that it was burnt. She would always say, give it to me and I'll make you another one. My mom loved to watch General Hospital. When she was out of the house, she always had to be back by 3 o'clock to watch General. My mom didn't just like watching the show, she liked to read about it too and look forward to getting ABC Soaps magazine each month. When I was having arguments or I was trying to convince my mom of something, I would use my grandmother's nanny's sayings. She would state her case, and then I would tell her, I'm another me, I know things. And then if that didn't convince her, I would say, everybody say, not just a me, everybody say. And then I would get one of those looks, what am I gonna do with you? Ever since my mom put my grandmother into the Phoebe home, she told me repeatedly, don't put me in a home. You better not put me in a home. Don't put me in a home. Now, over the last year, it changed a little because it became, don't let Donna lock me up. Don't let Donna lock me up. I told her, Donna's not gonna lock you up. I think she would be really happy that she never went into a home. Over the years, I had always seen people on the news saying how they lost someone tragically and they regretted not telling that person that they loved them. Over the last 6 years, I never left my mom or hung up on the phone with her without saying I love you. Last time I saw my mom, when she was awake, Donna and I told her that we loved her. She told Donna and me she loved us all her life. The last day I got to spend with my mom, she only opened her eyes for a few seconds. I told her over and over again, I love you, Mom. I love you, Mom. In the natural, I miss my mom. The pain is intense, and as I go through my days, things remind me of my mom, and the tears flow. Right now, my faith and my family are keeping me going. Right now, I know that I have an intense pain because I was blessed enough to have such a great source of love in my life. I know that my mom touched the lives of many of the people here. There will be hurt for a season. The love that she gave will be missed, but the pain will fade and the sweet memories will overtake the sadness.
God,
In the spirit, I rejoice that my mom is in heaven. After my sister called me to tell me that our mom had passed, I called my cousin Vincent, and when he answered, I said, Cousin Vincent, heaven just got a little bigger because my mom is now there. I did the same thing 3 weeks ago when my dad had died. My mom was at peace with her passing. At the last visit, when she was awake, she told us she was going home and she was going to see her brother and sister. She had the peace that only comes through faith. My mom is in heaven, and in the spirit I rejoice.